Alright, so this is part 2 of my ticket stubs. We've probably made it through most of them, but I just wanted to make sure that I got to tell you about all of the shows that I've been to. Alright, more fish. Let's see, that's in Hartford, Connecticut. This is back in 1997, and I went with my best friend at the time and her little brother, and oh my gosh, that dude is crazy. It's the only time I've ever seen him. Fish again in Deer Creek in 2000. This is Fish in, it's near Cleveland, Blossom Music Center. That place was pretty cool, and that's in 2000. Fish, Deer Creek, 99. Fish, Cincinnati, 99. Fish, Noblesville, so that's Deer Creek, 2000. And another 2000. Oh, you know what, that was a 3-night thing, so I went to all 3 nights, of course. Fish in Cleveland again. That's the day I met my pen pal Cheese. And we wrote and hung out and traveled several times. Although I haven't found him lately. Let's see, this is Fish in Dayton in 97. I ran away to go to that show, and yeah. I ran away from home to go to those 2 shows. Okay, that's the first time I went to the casino. Not very exciting. Alright, so now we're getting to the end. This is Pepsi Jammin' on Main, and mainly I was there to see the Big Woo and Mo. Oh gosh, it was awesome. Ween was there, and they all 3 played on the same stage. It was like the Big Woo, then Ween, then Mo. And there was other music going on and stuff, and we went and checked it out. But, yeah, I don't know, man. There's something about seeing Mo outside that it's great. And, okay, this is Santana with Rusted Root. And, okay. Now, I hate to admit it, but when I was under 21, I snuck into a leftover salmon show, and I didn't have a ticket, obviously, because I snuck in, and so I got the set list, which was awesome. And I really miss these guys. I really miss their music. One of the guys, Vince, just started a band, and I don't remember what it's called, but they just added me as a friend on MySpace, so yeah, if you know my MySpace account, you can find them. Now, this is one of my all-time favorite ticket stubs ever. And this is the Wild Duck in Eugene, Oregon. And again, when I was under 21, I couldn't get into a lot of leftover shows because they always played at bars. I mean, always, always, always. And, hold on, we gotta go get a cigarette because this story is pretty cool. So, like, oh, watch out, puppers. So, okay, I go to the show, and I'm like, well, I'm going to go, and, you know, I don't care if I can't get in, because I've heard at this venue that if you stand out back, you can hear everything just fine. And so it's like, okay, cool. So I'm going to go, and I'm just going to stand out back, and, yeah. So it's like, I'm standing out back, and, like, there's the tour bus right there, and I had already assumed that they were already in the building, but they weren't, and so when they walked in, they were like, well, what are you doing right here? I'm like, oh, I'm just going to hang out here and watch the show. I hope you don't mind, but, you know, I can't get in. And they're like, well, do you have any weed? And I'm like, no. And they were like, well, do you have any money? And I'm like, no, unfortunately, because the time I was, yeah. And, so, like, they were like, well, stay right here. And I'm like, well, I'm not going anywhere. And so, like, 5 minutes after they started playing, they had maybe gotten through one song, and the road manager comes out and grabs me by the wrist and drags me all the way around to the front of the building, drags me past a line of people to get into the door, sticks my hand on this table, and says, stamp it. And so, a lady stamps my hand, and she hands me this ticket right here. And this is, as you can see, an all-access pass, and I got to go up to the balcony, and the balcony was like really small, and the only people that were there were some people with a baby, so it's like I guess the place for all the under 21 folks or something. And he specifically told me, don't go downstairs because you will get thrown out of here, because, like, downstairs was where the bar was. And I was just so happy to be there. It was awesome. Like, I was in, you know, and I wasn't even 21, and it was awesome, and I got them for free. I didn't have to pay for it. And so I watched the show, and during set break, I'm like, God, I gotta go to the bathroom really bad. And so I'm going down this hallway to go to the bathroom, and this elevator door opens up, and this hallway is really small, so I had to back up to let the band walk, like, back down this hallway to this little room in between. And they were like, well, come on in. And so I got to hang out and party with Leftover Salmon during their set break. And then afterwards they invited me to a party, but I was like, no, I don't want to go, because, like, they had already been so nice to me. And so that is my stack, well, most of it, of Ticket Stubs, along with some really random stories thrown in there. Thanks for listening, watching. Have a good night.